So the plan for this week is to identify and remove some outliers, and I'm gonna show you how we determine that. We're gonna take a look at the outliers. We'll primarily take a look at them in lecture 16, I believe it is, lecture 16. We'll talk about those, but in this video, I'm going to show how we determine them, remove them, and then create the compare the first descriptive statistics table to the new one. Then we're going to do trend analysis, annual trend analysis, using both the calendar year variable and the policy year variable, and we'll do them separately. And then we'll discuss that in class, and then we'll talk about what I want you to write up for these other problems. So that's what's due this week for the progress update, if you want to call it that. So here is where we ended in week 1. We had created a distribution table, and it has important information in it. We also have the descriptive statistics right here. And this is the page we want to copy and paste in order to do the outliers. That's what we'll do. So I will highlight, Control C to copy, go to a new tab. If it lets me, it did. I'm in A1. Now I hit Control V to paste, and I'll zoom it in for you. All right. So what we're going to do is we want to create a distribution table of the total paid from high to low. So to do that, we're going to highlight the header row. So I pushed on one, left clicked on one, highlighted the row, and then I'm going to go up to data up here, click on data, and then sort and filter is the area, click filter. And that's when we get those drop down windows. Remember we had those last week when we created tables, it automatically inserts them, and to get rid of them, we click on data and then we click on filter to get rid of them. But so we want to click on total paid and go high to low, or largest to smallest, sorry. And so we got our most expensive total paid claims all the way down to our $0. And so we're going to highlight that entire set of data. So start here at 123 and go all the way down. Just takes a little bit, get all the way down. Okay, we're there. Now I'm going to go up to insert. So there's file, home, then click on insert and go to the bar chart. There it is. So what I want to do is bring this down here so we can take a look at it. And this may seem a bit random, a little bit off. But believe me, this is the best way to do it. It's a visual inspection, and believe me, this is how I've done it in the past. I couldn't find any sort of special ratio or cutoff or equation, and so this is how I've learned to do it. That you look and see how much it changes from claim to claim, and you see there's big, huge jumps, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and then we get to right here. And after this one, it gets somewhat smooth. And that's what we're looking for. And so this claim right here is 0.17, and it has a value of 37,591. Do you see that on the screen? If I go to the next one down here, this is 0.19, weird, value 24. So is there another one in between there maybe? Oh, 0.18 is 26, so it goes from 26 to 24. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the top 17 most expensive claims and see what happens. It's going to update the chart by itself. So I'm going to highlight row 2 and kind of drag down all the way to... Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Okay, so that was the correct one. So here's the 37, here's the 26. And what I'm going to do now is... right click and hit cut, and it's going to remove them. But then it's going to update this table with them removed. Watch. I'm just going to go over here, highlight a row, hit paste, and you see it took them out. Now it kind of reset the y-axis. So it used to be really high. Now it's a lot lower. Now we can see bigger gaps, but they're just, a couple thousand. And look how much further this went down. So we used to be at 1 point something million. Now we're at 694,000. It went down a lot. Here's what I want to do now. I want to bring over the original table so I can compare the two. So I'm going to go, first of all, I need to type Outlier analysis. All right. I'm going to put it on the other side of distribution. And I'll go back to my descriptive. I want to bring this one over. And so I'm going to highlight it and copy it. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to try to paste it. But if I'm going to right click and I go up to special paste. No, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back up. Is it arrow? There it is. Okay, it's the arrow. I want it to be linked. Ooh, that actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? I click on that. So now look, I've got my original and I've got my new one. I removed 17. I'm going to count them on the next open thing here. I'm going to shrink this down a little. And then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10, 11, 12. I could have just dragged it, but I'm already into it. 17. So 17 claims. And if I leave these here, when I bring them back up, I'll always have this notification of what is an outlier. These are 17 these are the 17 most expensive claims. Okay? That's the incurred. That's the total paid. Most expensive claims. Look what it originally was. You see? Let's add a few lines to work. I hit insert and then I hit Control Y to repeat it. Let's see what the difference is, okay? So I'm going to go equal the medical original minus the new one. And it changed that much, and I'm just going to drag it over. Let's see what percent difference that is. So I'm going to go equal. I'm going to click on the difference and then divide it by the original. That's the difference. So it's the difference is 51%. So it is. Is that how we would want to do it, or we want to do it a percent of what it was? No, the difference. The difference. This is difference. Difference. Change. Percent change is the proper term. Percent change. Or percent difference. All right. That's a percentage. And drag it over. So I got to change this by, I got to reduce it by 17. So it is, what is 17 out of this? So, 64, 264. Yeah. So I had to put that there. So now it qualifies what we have here. So it looks like most of the categories reduced by about 50%. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting. Usually it jumps around. But yeah. So 17 claims. How many is 17 claims? Let's see. Equal 17 claims divided by 271. So it's what percent it is. But what I'd want is the reciprocal of that. Right? Yeah. So I actually want to go equal 264 divided by 271. Is that right? Yeah, 271. Second guessing. So this here represents 97.4% of the claims. I want a percentage. I'm sorry, I was looking and thinking at the same time. Like I wasn't chewing gum. Okay, so n equals 64, which is 97.4% of original total. Okay. And the total paid is, okay, so because we have the original amount in the denominator, it shows us what it is now. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Something's not right. Something's not right. I need to delete this. What? The numbers weren't right. No wonder it seems so close. So I'm going to hit copy again. Sometime, just because it looked good, I kept it. It'd be nice if there was a link thing here. Paste special. Paste. Values. Okay. Okay, that's different. All right, so sorry. Wait, yeah, okay, so this is the correct breakdown. Let's see, is this correct? Yeah, let's see if this is right. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're back after I messed up. Yeah, we are still, there's 17. So 97% of the claims represents 36.9% of the total paid. Whereas down here, let's add this up. So first of all, I'm going to bring down a header row just so I can look at that in case I want to, because we want to look at this stuff. I'm going to spend a little bit of time looking at it, but we're going to spend a majority of time in the lecture looking at it. Usually I do things down below. I'm going to do it above just so we can see it. So the total equal sum. Okay. Oh, do I have to just get rid of some decimal points and then it comes in? There it is. Okay. So the outliers represent 1.87 million. Jeez. Yeah, it says it right there. That's the difference. That is crazy. With 17 years removed. That is, wow. That's a lot. So that's our 17 outliers. Don't have to put that there because it's right there. Let's see. I'm just going to try to make this look better. There we go. Everything else is centered, so I'm going to go and center it. I like to be consistent with my tables. Just me. You see here it's a much more of the indemnity, which it would, because the expensive claims are pretty much all indemnified, aren't they? Let's see. Yep, they're all indemnity. Let's take a look at it from a site perspective, okay? So we've got Poinette and Madison. And we can actually go through and count if we want to, but here's what I'm going to do. Equal, count if. I'm actually just going to go and highlight it because it's right there. Hit comma. I want it to be Poinette, but it's right here. Did that work? Yeah. And as long as I freeze the row numbers, then what I can do is just click on it and drag it down one. So yeah. So 13 of them are at Poinette, only 4 are from Madison. What's a breakdown by percentage? 13 divided by 17. Okay. Percentage. Here's what I'm doing. I am investigating these as being unique, but we don't know if they're unique. Okay? I'm just trying to figure it out. So here's the site data. As far as status, how many are closed? I'm going to do that down here just because it's not as important right now. So I'm going to do closed, I'm going to do open, and I'm going to do reopened. It's so crazy because, yeah. All right, I'm going to move it back one. So I'm calculating right above it. 100% are indemnified. So 100% of that cost goes into the EMR versus if it's medical only, it goes in at 30%. Equal, count if. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to hit a comma. I'm going to click on this cell if it lets me. It did. All right, now I got to freeze the rows. Okay. So when I click on it and drag it, it doesn't move it. I can double check it. See, it's still the same amount. Whereas if I didn't do it, it would move it. Maybe this would be a good time to show you that. Okay, so you see what the numbers are. If I take out the dollar signs and I just cowboyed it and dragged it down. Oh, sorry, dragged it down. The numbers did change, but if I click here, you see what it did? It moved it. That's why I put the dollar signs in front of these when I want to drag it but keep it the same range. There's the breakdown. All right, most of them are closed. We do have 2 that are open and 2 that are reopened. Open, reopened. Two of the top 3 are in that, and then we've got other ones that aren't as high down here. That's all right. How about age? 40s, 36, 30, 50. I don't know. Not real important. I mean, it'd be better to look at how long they were worked there. We don't have a way to look at employment. Let's see. We've got their birth date, got the date of hire. We'd have to look at the date of loss. So they started in 2016, happened in 2020. It's almost 4 years, 3 and change. Started in 15, happened there. That is 3 years. 1922, that is 3 years. Oh, that's really weird, isn't it? Started in 20, that was 10 years. 2005 to there, that's 15 years. 2021, that's in 1 year. The seasonal assembler, so that's 1 year. 2006, 20, that's 9, 10 years. 11 years, 11 years, 10, 11 years. 14, 21, that's like 6 or 7. Before that, that's 15. Oh, that's a lot. Started in 75? Jeez. I was just a little kid back then. 17 to 17, that was less than a year. 18 to 19, yeah, that's under a year. 11 to 21, that's 10 years. 22 to 22, that's less than a year. 21 to 23, that's 2 years. Not quite. Yes, it is. 17 to 20, that's like 3 years. And 21 to... So, we started out where it was longer, but then they got shorter. And it seemed like maybe up to like half or within a year. But the thing is, these more expensive ones, age isn't too excessive or anything. Here, that's interesting. Oh, and there's another one that's interesting. But not that one. Right? There's no one under 30 that's most expensive. So we'll take a look at that later, okay? That's just kind of maybe that might be a point of interest later. I just happened to take a peek. Just want to know. As far as occupations and codes, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of the 17 are assemblers. How about these numbers here? Let's see how these add up. 3179, 3076. We have a 4243. I think that's it. Let's add them up. Equal countif. Highlight this, comma. Is that a period or a comma? There. Can I click on this? It's not going to let me. I got to type it in. So it's Q306. Q306. I need to freeze the rows. And hopefully this adds to 17. 3076. It does. It adds up to 17. So 3076 is the dominant. Is there anything else? No. Of course, we want to read them and see if there's anything that kind of stands out. Yeah. And we did do this in class, and I didn't see anything that kind of stood out as something that's unique, like they fell from a height or fell through a hole in the floor, or got hit with something that fell from the ceiling, or arc flash, or car crash, something like that, run over by a vehicle. These just all seem like things that occurred. Yeah. So read those. All right. So that's our cutoff point. And you can kind of see, sure, there are different gaps here, but we're already operating at a portion of what it was, a third maybe, a little over a third, by just removing 17. And so, yeah, it's a gentler slope here. I mean, really, if you want to look at it, it would have been better to go like here or here, but then there'd be no money left over for trending. And this is all we have left. We removed that. No, that was the original. We removed that much. 17 claims. What's the average? What's the average total paid? I'm just curious. 60, let's say 70,000. 70,000 versus this. It's 10 times. Oh, it's almost right on. 10 times the original in 17 claims. And now look what we're down to. We're down to 27, and this is getting closer, right? So it went from 6,900 and 1,200, 2,700 and 1,100. The maximum is 26, and it's about 3.76 versus the 6.58. I usually like to be below 3, below 2.5 if possible, but I'll accept it given everything else. Yeah. So you see the zeros didn't change because they wouldn't, because we took out the most expensive. All right, what do we got to do? We got to save it. File, save as. Oh, no, I want to save it in that same spot. Now this we're doing outliers. And annual trending. Save. All right. So we're actually going to bring our original descriptive statistics over again. Start fresh. Copy, because we want to keep this, but all that other stuff, we can bring it back if we need to. Okay, this is pasted. So this is everything. Everything's here. Try to move this over here. And this is going to be, we got to do it 2 different ways. We got to do policy year and calendar year. Which one do we want to do first? Let's do calendar year. So calendar year trend analysis. And this is going to be with outliers. Actually, the with and without, that gets confusing. N is 271 because when it's not, it's 264. So that's how I'm going to signify that. All right. What are we doing? Everything's here. Everything's lined up. So we're going to be doing calendar year, which is column D. Okay. We'll be using column D. Now, 2017, it's a partial year, so we won't be using it. We're going to account for it, but we're not going to use it. And there's several things we want to be able to get at. So I'm going to leave that up here for now. And we're going to be doing a count and then the paids. I do them all, but we're really only going to be focusing on the total paid. I mean, we could do a total incurred if we wanted to. So we're going to do, I'm going to smash this down because I'm not using it right now. And I'm going to do calendar year. Calendar. That's not right. Calendar year. This is going to be count. This is going to be paid medical all the way through total paid. Copy, paste. Yep. I don't want that color in there. I'm sorry. No fill. That's there. All right. I don't need to be bold. Are we at 140? No, we're not. All right. So this calendar year is in column D. Want to make sure I know that. Is that bolded? I don't know. Okay. Center. So we've got, what are the years we have? We have 2017, got 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. 2024 is very new. and zoom this in. That seems too big. I'm just going to bring it down a little. All right, so we're really only focused on count and total paid, but we'll calculate everything else. All right? So first things first, we want to do equal count if, and this is in column D, so D2 to D272. And let's see if we got the right column. Calendar year. See, it's all covered. All the way up, okay? So I'm saying count if in that range, if you count when you find, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go comma, because that's the separation, and then I'm going to click on this cell. So it's counting the number of 2017s. Now I'm going to click and drag this down, and so I need to put a $sign in front of the 2 and a $sign in front of the 272, so that when I click and drag down, it's still doing that, and it filled it up. And then I'm going to do my total equals sum, and I'm going to add these up, and I hope it equals 271. It does. So we're doing good so far. Now, we're going to do something called sum if. This is the first time you've seen it or heard of it, maybe. And for this, what we do is we go equal sum if. And when we do that, you got to put in parentheses. It says, give me a range of criteria, and then the sum range. And the sum range is going to be the paid medical above here. But we use the same range and criteria as we did for the count if. So equal D2 to D272, comma, when it's, this year, then we drag it down, it moves with it, comma, and then it's going to be T2 to T272. That's the sum range. So whenever it gets whenever it sees a 217 over in D, it'll add up the number that's in T. Hit return. I have to turn this into currency and get rid of the decimal points. Center it. All right, so I'm going to do a trick now. It's something that it seems really logical to me. This may be confusing right away, but it does work. So when I go up and down, I want that to go up and down. But when I go left to right, I need it to stay there. We also need, as we go up and down or left or right, we need it to always be looking in from D2 to D272. So I'm going to put $signs in front of the D and the 272. So that's completely locked in. When it comes to the calendar year, I want it to go up and down, but I don't want it to go left and right. So I'm going to put a $sign in front of the R. That's these numbers, column R. Different though, for up above, when I go up and down, I want it to stay the same. When it goes left to the right, I want it to go left to right. So I just want to freeze T2 to 2 to 272. Okay? Now this is what happens. I can drag down to here, and I can drag over, and it's all done. So even when I click on this, see it's just adding up that, and yeah, and it's picking that up. So that's how you do it. You can talk about this in class, but again, it is equals sum if, and it's $D, $2, colon, $D, $272, comma, $R, 292. As long as that's where your 2017 is, R 292, and I just have a $sign in front of the R, comma, and then $2, colon, $272. So the first range and the second should be the same. You have to make sure that this cell is the one you're using. And then you click and drag it. I do it one way and then the other way, or over and then down. If you try to do all at once, I think it screws it up. I think. I'm not sure. All right, let's do the sums and make sure it equals. We can always check our work because we know what the totals are. This is just kind of breaking it all out. So we see these, and we can compare it to this. And as it looks to me, everything is matched. You guys see this right here? That's what I'm comparing it to. That when I broke it down by calendar year, this is what I got. Okay? So now, there's a couple things we need to do. And it has to do, it's a little bit tricky. It has to do with the number of open claims in any particular year. Because if there's too many open claims in a year, that total paid is going to grow because it hasn't stopped. When they're closed, it's not going to go up anymore. When it's reopened, it's going to go up when it's open. So we get 24 open and reopen, and we need to know where those are. Right now, everything is sorted chronologically. We could do this manually, or we could do it through analysis. So let's see here. Let's look at our 2024 claims. Here they are. So these are the 2024 claims. And as far as open and closed, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open claims in 2024. I'm going to get the average too. So 6 open claims. I'm going to say open or reopened, okay? And then we've got the total number over here. So the difference will just be closed, yeah. And so we've got 8 total in 2024. 6 of them are open or closed. But that 6 makes up, a good portion, a quarter of our total, right? So now what we can do is we can look at the calendar year. I can do that. This is being done manually right now. I could do it through all kinds of calculations, but this is a very small data set. So let's see how many we have. In calendar year, which is D. No, I didn't do that right, did I? D is calendar. So I got to go all the way. Oh, there we go. How many opens or whatever? There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7, there's 8, there's 9, there's 10, 11. I counted 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 and now we have 11. That is 17. So that means there's 7 left. I'm going to double check my math, because that's what you got to do sometimes. So 2024, this is 2023 calendar year. I'm going to check it one more time. I usually just type a lot of stuff up, but this time I'm not going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12 that time. And I thought I had moved it around too much, so we got 12. So now we've got 18 of the 24. There's only 6 left. So let's take a look at 2022 and see if that has any hidden information. 2022, we've got 1, 2. 2 reopens. 2. Let's look at 2021. We only have 4 left. 2021. Ooh, there's a lot in that year. I didn't see any. 0 in 2021. All right, let's look at 2020. Close. Oh yeah, 1. 1 in 2020. In 2019, we've got none. 2020 we have 1. Oh, 2018 we didn't have any. Yeah, that seemed like it was it. Reopened in 2020. Reopened in 2022. 2022. Did I write down the 2022s already? I did, but it seemed like there was more, didn't it? And then there's 1 here. That doesn't seem right. You know what I could do? I could highlight the top row. Go, data, filter by type, class code, body part. I don't know why I'm doing this manually. I think it's just because there's so few. I'm going to do it the opposite way, see what happens. There we go. Reopens. When are they? 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2022. And open is 1. So it's 5 in 2022. Right, you guys? So that's 6. So that would equal it. That seems to work out. I'm going to take another look. 1 in 20, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Yeah. Then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I think that's what we got. Okay, that was the easiest way I've ever done that. Usually I write up this whole big thing. So let's figure out what the percent is open. I'm going to do an average and just see what happens. So an average total paid per claim. And just see what it is. It shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do this, but I want to see what it is. I'm going to go simply equal the total paid divided by the count. That's because that's, by definition, that's the average. Just want to see what it is year to year and overall. So that's the overall. It's really expensive in 2017. Only 11 and it had this amount. You know, it's... Oh, wait, that's also just a portion of a year. So there may have just been a really expensive claim there. I could find out what the max is each year and see how that influences, but I've never used it beyond that. This is with outliers included. Yeah. So a couple of years it was a little bit lower, but so because we have 12, let's figure out what the percent is. And if it's over 20% open, yeah, I don't use it then. I don't use it when I trend, I should say. All right, there we go. So percent open. And that includes reopened, all right? It's very simple. We do this. We go equal, there's 0. Or should we do percent closed? Because this will just give me a division of 0, but whatever. Yes. What did I just do? Yeah, I don't understand. Okay. And it's a percent, and then I'm going to just drag it down. So I am not going to use 2023 calendar year because 21% of them are still open, which means this total paid amount is going to go up. If I was to use it in my trend, it's falsely too low. So when I'm trending to 2024, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to use the count though, because the count is settled. All right. So now I'm going to save my work and I'm going to create some charts. The easiest one is the count chart. Now I'm not going to use 2017. I'm going to use 2018 to 2023. 2017 is a partial year. 2024 is a partial year. Whether there's a count or not has nothing to do with the open or closed cases, okay? I'm going to go Insert, Scatter Plot. Look at that. Now what I can do is add a trend line. I'm going to forward it by 1 year to get it out to 2024, and I'm going to put in the R-square value. Okay. The R-square is somewhat of a corollary statistic. I think anything above 0.8 is excellent and really good. So it's a trustworthy best fit line to trend out to 2024. 0.69 isn't as good. It's like we had a low year in 2020, a high year in 2021. Otherwise, it's pretty good. We could actually figure out the, what would it be? A 1, 2, oh, I didn't want to do nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-year average. But we can do the average with the other stuff too. And so this is going to be annual average, but For this, I'm using average of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I'm only going to be using 5 here. The average of 18 through 22. That's 5-year average. Why am I doing that? Because partial year, over 20% of the claims are open. There. So, annual trending. That's what we're getting, okay? So if we were to forecast, if we felt this was reliable enough, the forecast for 2024 will be about 61 claims. The annual average is 42. 42 is down here. Do we believe it's going to be down here in 2024 based on the trend? No, it hasn't been that low in a long time. So we're going to, with outliers included, we're going to trend it to there. Now what we need to do is, let's see, this is, oh, I don't know what just happened. Oh, that was what I wanted. Yeah. Number of claims per calendar year. Okay. Now let's do the total paid. I mean, we could do all of them if we wanted to, but we're going to do the total paid from 2018 to 2022. 5 years, I believe. Insert, scatter plot. Now we have to add the years because I couldn't do it otherwise. So I'm going to right click on that, go to select data, edit. First of all, the name is total paid. The X values is 18 through 22. Hit OK. Now, so sometimes it does this weird stuff. We can format access. We can bring that to a 1. That looks better. Yeah, get rid of that. So let's do a trend analysis. So I'm going to add a trend line. I'm going to extend it 2 years to 2024. And I'm going to get my R-square in there. There we go. It is 0.7, which isn't too terrible. This is really weird. It shouldn't be this good. I don't know what is going on here. But, I mean, I'm just letting the data do the work. We'll see what happens when the outliers are removed, right? All right, so the forecasted loss is about $500,000, just below it. The annual average is 300. Is that realistic? Maybe. I mean, 2023 is currently at this much, but we know that there is a lot outstanding. The total incurred is actually 600 something. So it's possible. It's possible. It is. With 0.7, that's not too terrible. It's better than that even. Okay, here's something we want to do now. We want to do the exact same thing, but we want to remove the outliers. Okay, I'm going to save my work. I'm going to copy this, paste it here. I hope, because I got to wait. I'm going to hit paste. Okay, it's all here. I'll zoom in so you can see it. Come down here. It's all here. Okay, same thing, right? Same thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here. I'm going to highlight my header row. I'm going to go to data. I'm going to hit filter. I'm going to sort by total paid, high to low. And I'm going to delete the 10 most, or the 17 most expensive. Not delete, cut. Cut. And I'm going to bring them down below. And then I'm going to have a different chart. I'm going to put it way down here so that I can put in the other stuff. Now this is going to be called calendar year trend analysis N264, right? 64 plus 17 is 271. Let's see. When we did our outlier analysis, how many were still open? How much did it change? We had, okay, there was a few. So we had reopen, that was 2020. We had an open in 2022. We had an open in 2022, a closed in a reopen in 2022. So 2022 had 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. 2022. 1. This is 2023. 2. And that. So it didn't change it much. Not much at all. So we still can't use that year. But, so these didn't change, did they? It's because these are, so no, this has changed. See, we're down to that. That equals that. It changed. This is the lower amount. This is the 264 amount. I had to update that. And as far as these numbers have changed. We saw that, didn't we? You know, there were some in 20. There was a 2020 that was gone. There was some 2022s that were gone. But still, there's plenty in 2023. And these are partial years, so we wouldn't do them anyway. So there's a couple ways we can do it. We can actually change this. Select data. Hit edit. All we really have to do is change the Y series. See, right now, it's on the old tab. If I click to the new tab, and I'm on the new tab, and I just do this, hit that, hit OK, and hit OK, it should have changed it. Did it, though? I don't know if it did. It may be taking a while. It may be taking a while. Or I can delete it, do it again, and see what it looks like. It's not going to change a lot, actually, because we took out 17, so the count is not going to change a lot. It's probably good practice just to do it fresh. There's this. Now I'm going to do the total paid, and again, that is 18 through 22. And insert scatter plot. Okay, remember I got to put in the years, so I got to go select data and edit, and I can give it a name. That's the series name. And the X values are 18 through 22. I'm sorry. Yes, the X, that's correct. Hit OK. All right. I got to fix the bottom. I don't know why I always have to do this. I thought I had figured out a way to do it. I can't remember what it was. Add a trend line. We want to go up to 2024, so we'll go ahead 2 and get the R-square value. Whoa, that improves substantially. So with outliers removed, so a conservative estimate with the really expensive stuff gone says in 2024, we're going to have about $200,000 in the more frequent. That's there's a much stronger argument to believe that's a nice conservative estimate. All right, let's do this one real quick. Trend line, where we're going to move it ahead just 1 up to 2024 and give it an R-square value. The R-square value did improve a little bit. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So these are our calendar year analyses. We're at 48 minutes right now. We've got our averages. They are much lower compared to what we had. Okay, you guys are going to be making these look pretty and reporting on all of them. You're going to do that. And we'll talk about them in class. These videos are kind of meant to interpret a little bit, but more or less show you the technique. Yeah. So. See, it's just no, you don't really do that. That's not the right way to do it, really. You're taking an average amount, an average number. I don't like that. I don't like that math. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with, I'm going to save my work. We're going to do it with policy year. And I'm going to try and cheat a little bit here. And I'm going to highlight this and copy it. Bring it over here. I mean, we're going to have to reinvestigate where the open and close are from a policy year. So this policy year, trend, analysis N271. All right, zoom it in a little bit. First thing we can do is we can go and take a quick peek at the open and close just to see where they are. Here it is. Is it already? Because I had just looked at it. Yeah, it is. So it didn't change. But now we're going to look at it from a policy perspective. So there's 1 in 19, 1 in 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13 in 2022. 13 in 2022. 2022, 13. Okay. Oh, I got to recalculate everything though. This is going to be policy year. Policy year, and this is going to be column C. And so what I need to do is, we do have a full 2017 policy year. So instead of being D2, we change it to C2. Just changing it in the equation. And we'll drag it down. Yeah, we don't have any in 2024. We'll be able to delete 2024. That's what's coming up. Delete. All right. So then we got to change this stuff too. We got to change D to C. But everything else stays the same. Click it, drag it, click it, drag it. Okay. Now, do our numbers match up? Yes, they do. That is a crazy number, so I'm going to reduce it. So what I did is I'm just focusing on now the policy years. We have a full 17. We have all the way to a full. No, we don't. We have half of a 2023. So we wouldn't use 2023. 2022, we can't use either now because 26% of them are open. Let's see how many are in the other things. I will fill those in just to make sure everything is still set up. So we've got the reopen. So we've got 1 in 2020. Yep, 1 in 2020. Yep, 2020, we've got 1. Okay, now in 2021, did we have anything? Let's see. All right, so... Oh, we're looking at this. We have 1 in 2019, 1 in 2021, none in 2020. Ugh. You guys saw that, I'm sure. You're probably screaming at me. Sorry. So we have 1 in 2019, 0 there, 1 here. All right, now let's see where the rest of them are. All right, we're in policy year. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of them. Is that what I had put? This is making it a lot easier to do it this way. I wish I had thought of this before. 13. Let's see how many are in 2023. And again, we're looking like right here. So 2023 policy year starts here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Let's hope that equals. This is 9. Does it equal 24? Yes, it does. Okay, so where you would not use 2023, it's a partial year. We cannot use 2020 because we have 26% of the claims still open. So it's going to go up substantially. Now, another thing I look at is if it is higher, I'm still going to trend it, I think. Yeah, I'm still going to trend it in there, but realize the caveat is that it's going to increase, okay? So let's get rid of these. Delete, delete. And we will do, now I can actually do it this way. And I can use 2020 for the count, but not 2023. Because the count won't change. And this is very easy. Let's do the trend line. We'll go forward by 2 years. We want to get up to 2024, and we'll do the R square. So, not a great R squared. Okay, this is outliers included, which supposed to be the 271. Yes, for total paid, we are going to use 17, and we're going to go to 2021. Go insert, scatter plot, and we're going to do the same thing with right click, select data, edit, put in its name, put in the X values. Gotta get that out of the way. 17 through 21. Okay. Look at that. Now, if I was to do the best fit, would that fix the bottom? I go ahead by, I want to go up by 3. And give me an R square. Oh, it did fix it. I'll do that from now on. R square is horrible. Bouncing all over the place. What happens if I was to add one more year? How much would that change it? If I was to do this and this. It substantially improved the R square, and it did increase. So it went up, it goes up to 350 now. Let's go back one. And it's down here. So I am going to include it. Even though there's 20, it's going to keep going up. And so this, when we add it, it does go up, and it's going to keep going up. Okay. So now we've got 2022. It goes up to 2025. We don't need to do that. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to take back 1 year. It goes to 2024. All right. So it's saying 350. It's saying the annualizers is 315. It's in there, yeah, but it's got a very low R square value. All right, so we're going to do the same thing now, but we're going to take out the outliers. I'm going to save my work. I'm going to highlight this and hit copy. And insert. Hit paste. Now, you're probably saying, well, why didn't you just go ahead and take the other one and just switch it all up? Well, I've got things kind of set up now. So again, what I'm going to do is turn the header row into a filter. I'm going to filter by total paid, largest to smallest. I'm going to take out the top 17 or down to right there. So 37,000 is my cutoff there. I'm going to hit cut. I'm going to bring it down below. Hit paste. Everything here should be updated. This would not change, so we delete it. This end now is 264. We can tell by the numbers. This is by policy year now. We do know that some of this stuff has changed, but we still used it. And so I'm just going to recreate from 2017 to 2022. Insert a scatter plot. So here's this, here's the count, the total paid. We're going to go 17 to 22. Insert scatter plot. I hope you understood the justification I gave for that. If not, we can talk about it in class. I need to select data, edit, give it a series name, give it the X values. Again, we're going up to 22. Originally I said we wouldn't, but the numbers keep going up. Ooh, that's weird. Don't like that at all. Dang. All right, trend line. Move forward 2 years and give me an R square value. That changed things when we added that, didn't it? That's a decent number. 2024 says it's going to be about 190, 185. That's me estimating. Add a trend line here. Go out 2 years. Policy years, R squared. The idea being is with the trends, when it gets up to above 0.8, that's really high, is that if nothing's done, this is likely to be the result. Here, not so much, because it bounces around. But again, this is the way things are working. Under the conditions that we've had for the last 6 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 years, this is what we're working toward. So something has to change. What is that going to be? What are we going to change? We're going to figure out what is the primary causes of this increase. And then we want to invest money to prevent it from happening, therefore showing a savings. That's what we're trying to do. So from a descriptive statistic, this is really, from an annual trending perspective, this is what we want to do. Now we want to make this look pretty, pretty for the camera. Let's see what happens when I format it as a table. And today I'm feeling partial to red. I don't know. See what happens. Yeah, it's looking better. And I don't know why those are light and those aren't. I think we can change that. To get rid of the header thing, you go to data and get rid of the filter. If we highlight the whole thing, we can go up to table design and we can do anything we want. I don't know, that's kind of cool too. I can kind of crush these down. Should we make them all the same size? Because if you highlight rows, you guys, and then you just do something like that, it makes them all equal. I don't know. It's kind of cool. We got to do something cool with these too. We can go to chart design. We can be like, wow, check this out. This is awesome. You see what I can do? So I want you guys to play around with that kind of stuff for sure. We will play around with it in class a little bit. We're over an hour, but this is all the work for this week, you guys. We did calendar year and policy year with and without outliers. We got some interesting insights. Everything seems to be trending up. We have annual averages. We got the tables. We saw what was open and what percentages they were. And we did the outlier analysis. We got a lot done in just an hour. And I can go like 5 times faster than this. This is just me trying to get through it. So work on this stuff. Email me if you have questions, but we'll be talking about this in class, which I think is lecture 16.